So before we begin today's video, hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell right here. Why, you ask? You have to, or you may miss some of my videos. What's up guys, Violet here, and in today's video what I'm going to be doing is another episode of Destiny Mythbusters. This one is long awaited. I know I'm late, I'm sorry, but before the video does start, 2,000 likes will be the like goal as usual on the Destiny Mythbusters series. Thank you guys so much for the amount of support, and let's jump right into this week's episode of Destiny Mythbusters. The first one comes from Nate Cirque Elo. I'm hoping I've said that right, but either way, they say, Myth, can you deflect a vanished grenade with a sword from an enemy back to one of your own teammates or onto yourself? So I didn't really understand. It's kind of a tongue twister, this one. I wouldn't say a tongue twister, but it's kind of confusing. Can you deflect a vanished grenade with a sword from an enemy back to one of your own teams or onto yourself? So what I'm getting at when they say this, Myth, is if I chuck a invis grenade onto an enemy sword, if they deflect it at their teammates or at themselves, will they go invisible, it acting as their own invis grenade? So I actually did test it in that format, and these are results. So as you can see, it does actually work. We didn't test it with teammates, sadly, because just it was late when I was recording this and a lot of people weren't on and hardly anyone was joining the game. And when people did join, it was after we did this myth. But yeah, it is possible. And I'm guessing if you can invis yourself with an enemy's vanished grenade once you deflect it, I'm guessing you'll be able to invis your teammates anyway. So let's move on to the next one, which is from Fire Banshee 101. And I thought this comment was pretty funny and it did stand out. It's got a lot of likes. It did stand out, and I'm finally reading it. They say, will you finally read my myth? I've been taking the time to type it in every video. But the real myth, if you jump off a time breaker sparrow right before it blows up, will it kill an enemy? So I'm sorry I haven't done your myth. I just haven't seen it. I really do go through them and take my time to read them all. I just didn't see your comment. I don't know if I scanned over it too quickly or whatever, but right now your myth is being answered. Let's show it.
Heavy ammo inbound.
So unfortunately, no, it's not possible. I was really annoyed, I was like, please let this work. This would have been beast. But no, it's not possible. Timebreaker just blows up and no damage happens whatsoever. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And it's funny because me saying it is what it is, someone on the last Mythbusters episode says, is it me or does Violet say it is what it is a lot? But chaps, it is what it is. Let's move on to the next one then from Sir Siva. And they say, if Dragon's Breath hits the Skybox, what they mean by Skybox is on most games, right at the top of the map, there's a thing called a Skybox. It's basically just a barrier where you can't go past. Say if you had like a super jump hack or whatever, as you get up there's a barrier that you can't go past. So they say, if Dragon's Breath hits the Skybox, will the napalm bounce off and kill someone? This was actually quite hard to record. It took a couple of attempts to actually get the perfect footage for this, but here are the results, and you will see what the Dragon's Breath does if you shoot it straight up. So let's show it. So as you can see, interesting results. what I've gathered then from this is if you shoot it straight up, it takes a long time to come down, but when it does come down, it either explodes in mid-air before it hits the floor, or it hits some kind of barrier that you can shoot past, but once it's coming down, it won't go past it and it will explode on top of the barrier. My guess is it just explodes before it hits the floor. It has like a timer, but who knows, there might be a barrier where it did explode and the fire was floating in midair. But yeah, we'll never know, I guess, but I guess that answers your question or your myth. So let's move on to the next one then, from Joe123, I'm just going to say that. Can RAZE-LIGHTER kill a Fist of Havoc Titan running unstoppable? So we did 2 tests with this one. We did one where my friend was using average armor, you know, just the average armor that you would use playing the game. And then he also buffed his armor up to the max. We did both of them. I believe the first one is with just like moderate armor, just normal armor. And the second one will be with maxed out armor with Striker. So here's the footage.
Lost the lead. You're in the lead. You're falling behind.
So as you can see, it will kill them if they're using like moderate armor, just like normal armor, and they're not maxing out. I mean, I guess maxing out could be normal armor for others, but most people won't run a max armor setup. But yeah, max armor, it doesn't work, but moderate armor, it does work. So anything below normal armor, so if you have low armor, you're gonna get killed. But if someone's gonna get this close with a RAZE-LIGHTER in the first place, they'd have to be pretty damn lucky. But I guess that's what the Mythbusters series is for, to test these things that you guess you wouldn't really see in Crucible, but you want to know would that actually work. Moving on to the next one then, which is from Hillary Clinton, and she says, will a Titan be affected if a Blade Dancer Hunter used Showstopper right next to the bubble, or will it just help take down the bubble but not enter? Now this is quite an interesting one because we tested this twice and it showed different results. So I'm going to show the footage and I'm going to speak because I'm pretty sure I know why it did this, but I'll just show it anyway. Here we go.
You're in the lead.
So from the first clip, I killed my friend. They were in the bubble, they were right on the edge, but they were in the bubble. And on the second clip, I told my friend to stand a little bit closer in the middle of the bubble, and all it did was take the bubble down. So I'm guessing if the person is close to the edge of the bubble, maybe he was a tiny bit out of the bubble with his arm or something, I don't know, but I guess you'll see in the edit because I can't remember off the top of my head while I'm doing this commentary. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe if the Titan is close to the edge of the bubble, Shadow Stopper will kill them. But if they're in the middle of the bubble, then it will just help take down the bubble, and then yeah, you can kill them from there. So I think that is all of them done. Yes, that is all of them done. I hope you did enjoy this week's episode of Destiny Mythbusters. I'm not gonna lie, chaps, it is getting hard to select some myths. It is getting hard because some of them have already been done, or some of them are just like already been done, and some of them are just ones that aren't really necessary, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's kind of hard to get myths in there. So if you guys have some crazy minds right now and you're still listening to me right now, you haven't clicked off, if you've got some crazy myths in your head that you really want to suggest and you don't think you've ever seen them before and they're really good ones, please suggest them, because I love ones that are like really unique and just stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully next week's episode it'll be a lot easier to pick the myths and we'll get a much better episode out. So I hope you did enjoy. I can't fucking speak. It's always on the outro that happens. I'm always like, can you do? I can never speak on the outro. It's crazy. So maybe a little bit slower. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy this episode of Destiny Mythbusters. If you did, be sure to leave a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. Your support around here means a lot, and honestly, you don't understand how much it actually helps when you guys support me. It's crazy. Also, subscribe if you are new around here to never miss out on any more content on the channel, and comment down below your myths for the next episode of Destiny Mythbusters. My name has been Violet, and I'll see you guys on the next video.